My name is Dr. Todd Daniel, and I teach statistics. I feel very pleased to have reached the place in my education where people call me doctor. For those of you who are also on your way, it's a difficult journey, but very well worth it. My wife is a doctor too. She's a licensed psychologist in private practice. So when we meet new people, sometimes people will ask, "You're both psychologists?" And then they look worried. Then they say, "So you must be reading my mind." I spent a lot of time in graduate school, but I never had a single class in mind reading. On the other hand, I've been getting into mind reading here recently, and I've been practicing. So I think I'd like to try out some mind reading with you. Does that sound like fun? Now, I know that you're skeptical, and that's okay. You've got to trust me on this. This mind reading stuff is for real. Let me show you, okay? I am going to have you pick a number between 1 and 50, and then I'm going to read your mind and tell you what it is. Are you ready? Hold on, wait. Now that I think about it, that's not going to work. So let me do this. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 50 and then project it into your mind. Okay, are you ready? So I'm thinking about a number between 1 and 50. Both of the digits are odd, but they're not the same. So for instance, it could be 17, but it could not be 11. Have you chosen a number? Please do so. All right. My number was 37. Did you think of 37? No, wait, I must confess, I might have confused you because I started to think about 35 and then I changed my mind. So did you get either one of those numbers? So this mind reading thing is for real. What, you don't believe me? How could I be lying? You saw it with your own eyes. Okay, let's see how this could have happened. On one hand, I could have projected a thought into your head. On the other hand, there's really not all that many numbers after all. So if both of the digits are odd, then that rules out the single digits, the 20s, and the 40s. I mentioned 11 and 17, so you're unlikely to pick those. We know that when given a group of numbers, most people tend to pick a number toward the middle of the distribution. So the most likely numbers were 37 or 35, and I covered both of those. So was that mind reading, or was that math and psychology? And why do I start a course on statistics with a lecture on mind reading? I use this example to make a point about science and statistics. There are many claims of truth in the world. There are lots of people who will tell you that they have the truth, and they want you to listen to them. However, you, as a skeptical thinker, you quickly begin to notice that many of those people with their claims of truth also want something from you. They want you to give them your money, or vote for them, or buy something from them, or come to their church, or join their multi-level marketing program. Some of them want you to believe that they have powers that cannot be explained by science. Powers that allow them to read minds, or give them supernatural psychic abilities, or they can talk to dead people. How do you separate truth from falsehood? How do you sort the sheep from the goats, the truth tellers from the charlatans? For instance, talking to dead people. Now, talking to dead people is really not all that much of a trick. Anybody can do that. But beware those individuals who claim that they hear back from dead people. Those people are the charlatans, and they can never seem to do their trickery under scientifically controlled conditions. And while we're at it, sorting truth from falsehood, we might want to ask, is there a universal truth? Are there things that are true for all people at all times, everywhere, and without exceptions? Of course, that's a pretty philosophical question, but science still helps us to answer it. For one thing, the claim that universal truth exists is a claim. It can be tested, or at least we can ask for evidence. And remember that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And of course, the best evidence would simply be to point to a universal truth. Give us an example of something that is true for everyone, everywhere, at all times, in all places, and then we will know that there is a universal truth. But while we are waiting, we could also learn that science helps us to understand truths that seem to approach universal. These are actually specific truths, like gravity, or the laws of physics, or medicine, or psychology, or physiology. We know how and when these explanations work, and under what conditions they don't work. And understanding specific truths gives us tremendous leverage in the world. And having been in psychology for so long, I've come to believe in true probabilities. For instance, if you want to live a happy life, there are certain things that happy people do, and things that they avoid doing. And if you do, or avoid, those same things, you raise the probability of getting the same outcomes they do. Outcomes are not guaranteed, but the probability is on your side. I believe in probability. I believe in cause and effect. I believe that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And I certainly believe in relative truth. Loyalty is better than betrayal. Friendship is better than being enemies. Peace is better than warfare. Reason is better than faith. Logic is better than intuition. Love is better than hate. Telling the truth is better than lying. But there are circumstances in which it is better to lie. When the Nazi soldiers ask you where the Jews are hidden, you lie and you say you don't know, because protecting life is better than betrayal, and betrayal is worse than lying. Relative truth is how we navigate a morally complex world. And as Aristotle taught us, we get better with practice. And although we might have to think hard about when or under what circumstances it is better to tell a lie, we know that all things being equal, truth-telling is better than lying. And we don't say that lying and truth-telling are equivalent. But the most important reason why we need a way to evaluate claims of truth is because the person who is most likely to lie to you is you. We trust what we tell ourselves and what makes sense in our own worldview or intuition. And that is where we need to be most careful. There are many ideas that are intuitively true. It is intuitive that the sun moves around the earth. It's intuitive that cold water freezes faster than hot water. It is intuitive that heavy objects fall faster than light objects. It's intuitive that abstinence until marriage is 100% effective at preventing pregnancy. But then there's reality. And reality just doesn't care what we think. Reality is like honey badger. Reality doesn't care about our intuition. Reality doesn't care about our beliefs. Reality doesn't care that you believe that you have a word from the mountaintop of some divine truth. Reality just is. And reality works regardless of what we believe. Reality is where we need science. And the scientific method helps us to separate the claims of truth from falsehood, claims that work from claims that don't stand up to scrutiny. But before we go, let me do one more mind-reading trick. This time, I'm going to use cards. I'd like for you to pick a card. Don't tell me what it is. Have one picked out. Now, I want you to think about that card. Really concentrate. Think about the face value, king, queen, or jack. Think about the suit, hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. Think about the color, red or black. You got it? I know what card you chose. And I've made it disappear. It's magic. Seriously. You've got to trust me.